Today, we're learning phrasal verbs. Important phrasal verbs to describe our emotions, how we are feeling, and how others are feeling. So let me know, how are you feeling right now? I've seen a few great comments already. I'm gonna bring them up. Flavio says, hi Arnel, good morning. Good morning, it's afternoon for me, but maybe it's the morning for you. Thank you so much for another live lesson. I'm so excited. Yes, that's what I want to hear. Excellent. Great. Marcel's asking, good morning, Arnel. How are you? I'm great. Thank you. I hope you're doing well. Manuel from the middle of the pond. Manuel here. Sorry. Great. I love it. Lots of people here. Amazing. Abdi Latif, hello, good to have you here. Kamata says, hey Arnel, I love it. Julia, hi Arnel, greetings from Myanmar, always good to have you here. Hi Arnel, hi Shirley. If you are here, if you've just joined, give me a little hello, let me know you are here. Mampy says, good evening. Good evening to you as well. Hello, best English teacher on earth. That's so nice, Rainia. I've just eaten, so I feel a bit full. Excellent, really good. Perfect. Victor is sleepy. Well, this lesson is gonna change that. Hopefully this lesson wakes you up. Traveni says, hello Arnie. Hello. This is my first time participating in today's live lesson. I greatly admire your teaching. Thank you. I'm happy you're here. Angelina, hello. Natalie, hi. Naga, hi. Perfect. Mihai, hi from Italy. Let's do this for another minute. Let's keep saying hello and then we will, I promise, we will get to phrasal verbs. But this part's important. Maya, hi everyone. Greetings from Belgrade. Yeah. Adiba, after a long time, I'm sorry I couldn't join those amazing lives. No problem. All of my live lessons are on my YouTube channel. So if you can't make it to a live, you can always watch the replay. Ruben, hi. Really good. Let's do a couple more, just a couple more. Maheen says, greetings to you. I'm in 7th 9 and ecstatic to learn new phrasal verbs. Yes. We're going to learn lots of phrasal verbs today. Let's dive in. That is such a great phrasal verb. Dive in. This means get started. Kind of like when you dive in water. So that's what we're going to do. Okay. If I didn't say hello, keep the hellos coming for sure. Last one, Dalton, hello, good to have you here. Okay. Ooh, I gotta say hi to my nerds. I gotta say hi to my members, sorry. Phoenix, good evening. Jillian, hello from Taiwan, hello. I love it. Okay. And Manuel says, before we get started, please press the like. Don't you? Exactly. Press the like button without a doubt. Like and subscribe. All the YouTube-y stuff. Do the YouTube-y stuff. Okay, good. Right. So, topic for today, emotional phrasal verbs. If you want the notes to today's lesson, join my English Nerd membership and you can download these notes to review later and all the notes from my past live lessons. Okay. I also want to tell you, this is important, the phrasal verbs from today's lesson, I've taken them from book 2 of my phrasal verb journey workbook. Together, I have a total of 349 phrasal verbs. If you're interested, if you want to learn more phrasal verbs, check out the link in the video description. I'll leave it there for you if you want to check them out later. But let's start. Okay. The first one, let's get a little dramatic. Let's get a little bit emotional. Break down. Break down. Breakdown, broke down, broken down. If you're wondering, what is this number 289? This is the number in the workbook. So I've taken these phrasal verbs from my workbooks. Okay, what does it mean when a person breaks down? Well, definition, to suddenly begin crying because of sadness or stress. You can imagine if you have too much going on, maybe all of a sudden you start crying, or you just lie down somewhere. You can't take it. You break down. Examples. First one. I closed my office door. I closed my office door and just broke down. I couldn't contain the tears. Tears are the water droplets when we cry. I couldn't contain the tears. Natalia says, burst out crying. Exactly. If you burst out crying, you start crying like that. It's just, all the tears are coming out. Next example. Anne broke down when the doctor gave her the news of her husband's passing. Yeah, I think a person would definitely break down then. Her husband's passing. Look at the little light bulb here. A person's passing means a person's death. It's kind of a nicer way to say this person died. It's this person's passing. Good. Alper, breakdown means devastated. Yes, you are devastated, but breakdown really emphasizes when you just need to stop. You can't do any more. You start crying, or maybe you just collapse. You collapse, you break down. Good. Maheen said she failed on her test. Great, we can say she failed her test. That's why now she broke down. Right, we can say that's why she broke down. Exactly. If you get some bad news, you're probably gonna break down. Dan says, I couldn't hold my tears, so I broke down. Yeah. I break down and burst into tears when my emotional is too high. Right, exactly. When your emotions are high, you can break down. I saw a good question. Rawi, as if she's at a boiling point. Boiling point is anger. When you reach your boiling point, you know you're angry like boiling water. So if you break down, maybe you're angry, but usually it's sadness or stress, not so much anger. Right. Good. Nermeen says, I hate breaking down every time I get angry. Right. If someone's really angry, they could kind of break down, but usually we think about sadness. Look at this picture here. This person's crying. I mean, if you're angry and then you get really exhausted, you could break down. Nice. Dalton, great question. Breakdown is always a negative emotion. Yes. If you break down, it's not a positive thing. Machines also break down. Like imagine you're driving a car and then your car stops. It doesn't work anymore. That's also breaking down. A machine can break down. That's negative. It stops working. People can break down. They stop working. There's too much stress. They are too sad. Good. Ahmed, I broke down as soon as I realized I had missed the last live video. Exactly. If you miss my live, I expect you to break down. Yeah. Very good. Manuel says, my emotions broke down. Yeah, Manuel, we would just say I broke down. When I realized my car was written off after the crash. Yeah, I know you love your car, Manuel. I'm sure you would break down. Good. Okay. Excellent examples. I love this. Keep your examples coming. When I was 20, I broke down from time to time. Yep, feeling stressed due to my work. And now when I look back, those are funny stories. Yes, absolutely. When I was a newly qualified teacher, I qualified to be an English teacher when I was 21. So I was really young. And I remember I would break down quite often in the evenings. I would come home after teaching and just, I would break down because it was hard for me in the beginning. It's hard being a newly qualified teacher, newly qualified anything. So yeah, I used to break down a lot. And now I can look back and laugh. Now I kind of laugh at myself. Okay. Ooh. Nice examples. Okay. Really good. Adiba, let's do this last comment and then we'll move on to the next phrasal verb. I have a question for you, but I always forget to ask you. Yeah. Where are you originally from? Had you been living in England for a couple years or you are born here? Yeah, great question. I get this question pretty much every day. I'm American, but my dad's American and my mom is Chinese Korean, so I am mixed. I was born in the US and I've been living in England for 15 years. So I've been here for quite a while. Okay. Next example. And even when we move on, come back and just write some example sentences whenever you need to. Okay. I have a question here for my members. Later, when you download these notes, you can answer this just to review. What reasons are there for a person to break down? We've mentioned quite a few already, so I'll keep moving. Let's move on to the next phrasal verb. Okay. Remember, all of these have to do with emotions. Okay. Next one, carry away. Carry away. Carry away, carried away, carried away. Little tip here. Number 291, this phrasal verb, is almost always used in the passive voice. We can get carried away or we can be carried away. So remember, when you hear carry away, it's normally was carried away, am carried away, or get carried away. It's normally passive. Okay. Definition. To become so excited or full of emotions that you cannot control your actions and usually do too much without realizing it. You know, you get excited more and more and more. You get carried away. It's like the snowball effect. I'm not sure if you have that term in your language. You know the snowball effect? You start small with a little tiny snowball, and as it rolls down the hill, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Imagine that when you think about this phrasal verb. You get carried away. Okay. Examples. Mike offered to cook a meal for his family. He got a bit carried away when peeling potatoes because he wanted to make sure there was enough food. Look at this image. Does this person look calm to you? No. Do they look like they're doing a bit too much? Yes. So Mike got carried away. You know, he starts with a few. This isn't enough food. I need to make more. It's just, he gets carried away. Rania, she got carried away when her favorite singer noticed her during the concert. Yes, maybe she started singing louder, maybe she started jumping up and down, and she didn't realize it. Remember, when you get carried away, you aren't aware of your emotions. You don't notice it. So sometimes when we get carried away, it can be a bit embarrassing. A bit later, you think, I can't believe I did that. Nice. Jaco, hello, my teacher Arnel. Hello, good to have you here. Right, Maheen says she had suffered so much to find a job. When she got a job, she got carried away. Always try to add be or get in there. Right, and when someone gets carried away, we're kind of thinking of the actions they do. In this sentence, Maheen, how did she get carried away? It could be, for example, if someone's looking for a job and they get carried away, maybe they apply for 200 jobs in one day. They kind of do too much. You're a guiding star. I usually like his sense of humor, but sometimes he gets carried away. That's a really good example. If someone is funny, they like making people laugh, that can be great. But if they do it too much, you kind of think, ooh, slow down a bit. You got to stop that. Okay. Natalia, being carried away. He peeled a sack of potatoes. Exactly. Dear Arnel, breakdown was 289 and we continue to 291. We might have skipped the 290th phrasal verb. Thank you, Amit. Yes, the phrasal verbs in this lesson, I've kind of randomly taken them, so the numbers aren't necessarily in order, but thank you for pointing that out. Yeah. Okay. Maria, hi Arnel. Hello. I'm joining you from Argentina. Yes, thank you for being here, Maria. Marcella, my son gets carried away when it comes to helping people. Not everyone deserves it. Right. If he's very generous, you might think, you don't need to help everyone. He could get carried away. Really good. Okay. Nice. So many great examples. Sala says, I got carried away while shopping and spent a lot of money. This is a really good example. When we're spending, sometimes we just keep spending. It doesn't stop. We get carried away. And then we break down because we have no money. That's happened to all of us. Okay. Ruben, is it like feeling overwhelmed? When someone gets carried away, they could feel overwhelmed, but that's not really part of the phrasal verb. It's more like you do too much. Because maybe you're excited. When you're excited, you're not overwhelmed. So it's possible, but feeling overwhelmed isn't necessarily part of this phrasal verb. Okay. Really good. Lawrence, my son gets carried away when he plays. Yeah, absolutely. He can do too much, get too excited. Love it. I still have 2 more examples. Okay. Next example. Okay, you can plan my birthday party, but please do not get carried away. I just want something simple with close friends and family. Don't book a band. Don't make it a surprise party. Don't get carried away. I was carried away by the music and didn't realize that I had started dancing. That could be embarrassing if you didn't really want to dance. Can you think of a time you did something because you got carried away? Yeah, I think we've all gotten carried away at a certain point, so this is just for yourself. Think of an example for yourself. When was the last time you got carried away? Okay. Manuel, unfortunately, it's my daily bread and butter. Okay, so you get carried away quite often then. Adiba, Arnel, I have a request for you. If it is possible, can you do a live Q&A? We want to know about yourself, if you don't mind. Yes, I did a Q&A last year, and it's time I do another one. I should do one soon, absolutely. Okay, good. Let's keep going. Next one. Let down. Again, a dramatic negative phrasal verb. A lot of phrasal verbs are negative with emotions. Let down. Let is irregular. All the forms are the same. Let down, let down, let down. Definition. To disappoint someone because you didn't do what you promised to do or what was expected of you. You disappoint someone. You let them down. Let's take a look at this picture here. I'll zoom in. I'll zoom out. Okay. Look at this here. This person is disappointed. You promised me that you stopped drinking, Ed. You really let me down. You promised you wouldn't drink anymore, and now look. I feel disappointed. You let me down. Realtor. A realtor is a person who sells houses or they try to rent out houses. I will find you the best house on the market. I won't let you down. In this case, this is a promise. I will not disappoint you. I won't let you down. If I don't become a doctor, I feel like I'll let down my parents and everyone else I know. I will disappoint them. I will make them sad. They'll be unhappy with me. Julia says, don't let me down. Put your best foot forwards at the interview. Yeah, do your best. Don't let me down. Maria, don't let me down by the Beatles. Is that a song? Don't let me down? Cool, yeah, great. Travini says, stick with the people who never let you down and keep their promises. Exactly. Those are your good friends, right? If they don't let you down, you're good. Rainia, she felt sad because her best friend let her down. Exactly. Nermin says, I don't want to let my mother down by failing my entrance exams. Right. Yep. Dalton, never let down the person you love. Exactly. Phoenix, teacher Arnel's lessons never let me down. To study English grammar. Right. When studying English grammar, I love it. That's right. I hope my lessons don't let you down. That's important. Good. Miguel, thanks for hiring me. I won't let you down. Exactly. If you want to promise something to someone, we use a negative. I will not. I won't let you down. I'm going to do a good job. Leonardo, my best friend. Exactly. My best friend let me down. Roger, my parents won't let me down because they are the kindest. Yeah. Good. Louisa, is carried away always negative or positive? So going back to our previous phrasal verb, let me scroll up. Is it positive or negative? Get carried away. I would say it's not positive because quite often you do too much and you don't realize it. I would say it's more along neutral to negative. You know, it's like, ooh, you're doing too much. Sultan says, don't let me down. Don't, let me scroll. Okay. Don't let me down when I need you. Yeah. Lauren, I needed your help, but you let me down. Yeah, I'm sure we've all said this sentence to someone at a certain point in our lives. I needed your help, but you let me down. Good. Don't let me down. I will leave home. Right. If you let me down, I'm out of here. I'm leaving. Good. Good. Nice. Okay. We often use this phrasal verb with feel. Not always, but quite often. I felt really let down when Anna told people in the office about my health scare. I told her it was a secret. So we can feel let down. We can be let down. Last example here, just something for you to think of. Can you think of a time someone let you down? I'm sure we all have an example when someone let us down. Okay. Let's keep moving. Barge in. Barge. Barge. It's a regular verb. Barge in, barged in, barged in. Definition. To quickly and often aggressively enter a room without any warning. So this one, it's not necessarily an emotion. It's an action, but a very strong action. Examples. First example. I had to tell my kids to knock before they enter the bathroom. They can't just barge in when someone is in there. You can't just open the door very quickly. A lot of times when we barge in, we're angry. Not always, but usually. Alper, my mom barged in on me when I was in the bathroom. Exactly, that can happen. Next example. The principal barged into the classroom unannounced. Unannounced. Unannounced means without telling anyone, without an announcement. The principal barged into the classroom unannounced, surprising the teacher and students alike. We were all surprised. Why was he here? I'm going to try and pronounce this name. Hasanudiono. Barge in isn't polite. That's right. You don't want to barge in. You want to knock. Rainia, Arnel, do your children sometimes barge in? Yes, they do. Yep, they do barge in. Roger, he barged in my room without knocking. Right. Salah, you can't just barge in while we're having our lesson. Exactly. You have to knock or wait. Don't just come in here. Pikes is saying, my company is letting me down. Yeah, by firing people. Yep, yes. Dalton said, the manager barged into the meeting unannounced. Unannounced. And shocked everyone. Exactly. We're always shocked when someone barges in. Julia, he is tendency. Julia, he has a tendency to barge in the room without knocking on the door. He needs to learn more about etiquette. That's right, etiquette. And if you're not familiar with the word etiquette, it's such a great word. Etiquette means the rules to be polite. That is etiquette. Okay. Little question for you to think about at the bottom here. What would you say to someone if they barged into your room? What would you say? And barge out does not exist. It's not a phrasal verb. I don't know why. You can barge in, but we don't barge out. That doesn't exist. Good. Manuel, too many surprises you will get if you barge into a room without knocking on the door. That's right, you gotta knock. You don't know what's behind the door, you gotta knock. Dan, ooh, we have a word from our last lesson. Really good. I was really salty when he barged into my library unannounced. That's right. Dalton will say, get out of here. Exactly, get out of here. Okay, let's keep going. Bonus phrasal verb. Okay, so I have two workbooks here. There are 349 phrasal verbs in both workbooks. That's a lot. So if you don't know where to start with phrasal verbs, just so you know, book 1 has a first 170, and then book 2 continues from there. Total, there are 349. This next one is a bonus phrasal verb. It's 350. Number 350, I'm adding it to this lesson. Okay. Perk up. This is a fun one. Perk up. Regular verb. Perk up, perked up, perked up. Definition: to become more energetic or positive after being tired or bored. So look at this man before. This is before. After he perked up. So when you perk up, this is positive. It's good to perk up. Okay. I was feeling groggy. Sorry, I'm trying to get, I keep clicking everywhere. I'm trying to get rid of this, these boxes there. I know that can be a bit in the way. Okay, first example. I was feeling groggy. I was feeling groggy in the afternoon, but a brisk walk, oh, it perked me up. Groggy is an adjective. It means weak and not able to think clearly. Like when you wake up in the morning, you can be a bit groggy. Or maybe after a big lunch, you are tired, you're not thinking clearly. Then you feel groggy. So I was feeling groggy in the afternoon, but a brisk walk. Brisk means fast. A brisk walk perked me up. It made me more energetic. Next example. Have some coffee. It'll help perk you up. Or it'll help you perk up. It'll help you perk up. Go, have some coffee. Louis perked up. Louis perked up as soon as he saw his friends walk in. Ooh, he got happier. He got excited. Elvira, groggy is drowsy. Yes, they are similar. Groggy, drowsy. Yes, if you're drowsy, you're kind of sleepy, you're drowsy, you're groggy. Yeah, Elvira, they both work. Dalton says, this morning after drinking a coffee, I perked up. Exactly. Rania, I perk up when I watch an Arnel's video on YouTube. Yes, exactly. Hopefully my lessons perk you up. Good. Julia says, I became perked up. And Julia, this is a verb, so we don't need become. I perked up. I perked up after having a cat nap in the afternoon. Exactly. I perked up after having a cat nap in the afternoon. Ridwan says, ooh, I perked up. Good. I perked up after my annoying boss resigned today. Yeah. I started to perk up when I heard the good news. Excellent. Manuel, after running or after a run, he perked up bit by bit. Cheer up, man. Yes. Good. Nice. Yusuf says the news perked her up immediately. Yes, great. Phoenix, the breeze in the cloudy day perked me up even though I am tired. Yeah, great. Flavio, come on, perk up. Come on. We still have 2 exams left. This is no time to break down. Exactly. Stop crying. Get up. We got to take our exams. Miguel, working out always perks me up. Exactly. Exercise usually does it. For me, listening to music. I'll put my music in. You know, that perks me up. Just listening to some fast music. I always listen to fast music. Great. Lauren says, after working so hard, I was tired, but I played table tennis, and that perked me up. Yeah. Any sort of game, sports, things that make us happy. Caffeine. Caffeine will perk us up. Excellent. Okay. Really good examples. Here's a little place for you to brainstorm later when you're reviewing. What can perk you up? We have lots of great examples mentioned already. And actually, I think we only have about 2 more phrasal verbs to go. Okay, I will move on. Okay. Give in. Give in. This is an irregular verb. Give in, gave in, given in. Definition: to finally say yes after a long, exhausting period. So imagine when you give in, you are exhausted. Look at this little image here. The answer's no. The answer's no. 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 Fine. Okay. I give in. Examples. After hours of begging, I finally gave in and agreed to buy my daughter a phone. Fine, I'll buy you a phone. Just stop asking me. This is giving in. Next example. The employees at Rasco decided not to give in to the unfair demands of their employer. No, we will not say yes. We are going to say no. Julia, is it the same? Give up and give in. They can be used in a similar way. Give up is I quit. I give up. I don't want to do that. My decision. I give up. I quit. If you give in, you do this. Okay, whatever you want. Okay, yes. So when you give in, you say yes to a different person. When you give up, you quit. Miguel, again, is the opposite to give up. When you give in to someone, you quit saying no, but they are different. Again, give up. I quit. Fine, I quit. If you give in, you think, okay, I will do what you want. Okay, I'll say yes. So when we give in, there's a feeling we are exhausted. There is a feeling that this has been bothering us or annoying us for quite a long time. Alper says, when you give in, you kind of bow to somebody. Yeah, you are kind of saying, okay, fine. What do you want to do? Nerman, after she snaps me with questions, I had to give in and tell her about my secrets. Right, if someone's bothering you, tell me. Fine, okay, I give in. Marcella, while arguing with your kids, it is better to not give in. Yeah, you don't want to give in, I agree. Ruben, this is a good example for a couple of reasons. Even though he tried so many times, he didn't get his driver's license and eventually gave in. This is a situation where we need to give up. He quit. I'm not doing it. I'm not good enough. If you give in, you have to say yes to something. We could say, this wouldn't be legal, but let's imagine the driving school, whatever agency gives you your license, they could say, you've taken your driver's test 10 times. Fine. We give in. You can have your license. But in this case, if the person decides, it's give up. Antonio, I enjoy every lesson I see on my phone. For me, it is very difficult to understand English, but I do not give up. Exactly. I don't give up. I don't quit. Du Yen, I didn't want to go at first, but I finally gave in. Yes, okay, I'll go with you, fine. Lauren, I often give in with my kids, right? So we often give in to someone. I will put that in bold. We don't give in with, we give in to someone. Maya, our dad gave in to us. My dad gave in to adopt a cat after days of begging. Yes, he finally said, okay, let's get a cat. Nice. Okay, Dan, so we have 3 phrasal verbs in one sentence. After breaking down, I perked up and gave in. Yeah, that's possible. Yep. Maheen, is giving in negative or positive? When we give in, it's negative because originally we did not want this. So just like this picture, you're kind of defeated by the end. You're waving that white flag. You're like, stop asking me. Okay. So it is negative when we give in. It's not what we originally wanted to do. Nice. Ridwan, is give in like I'm tired of arguing with him or her? Yeah. You are tired of something. It can be an argument. An argument's a good one. It could just be the same question again and again and again. Okay, you give in. Dalton, after weeks of customers asking to resolve their issue, I gave in. Even though it wasn't our problem. If you have a customer or a client and they keep nagging means do this for me, do this for me, do this for me, do this for me. Even though it's not your responsibility, sometimes you think, it's better if I do something just so they go away. I'll give in. Yes. Miguel, can I say, I asked for a raise for a long time and my boss finally gave in. Yes, this is a good example because your boss is saying, fine, stop asking me, you can have a raise. Yes. Nice. Let's do one last example with this phrasal verb, then we'll move on. Some of my friends text me continuously asking to borrow money, but I ignore their messages. but finally I give in and give them money. I already know I will never get it back. Yep, sometimes we have to give in when someone asks us for money. Yeah, that's a good one. Good. Okay. A question to think about for yourself at the bottom here. Have you ever regretted giving in to pressure? Why or why not? I think we've all done this. We've all gave in at a certain point and we've regretted it for sure. Okay. Last one. There's only one more in today's lesson. And again, it's another negative one. A lot of negative phrasal verbs in this lesson. Hopefully, after all of these phrasal verbs, you will perk up. That's a positive one. You'll perk up because you learned new phrasal verbs. Go through. This looks like such a simple phrasal verb, like you go through something, but it has a very specific meaning. Go is irregular. Go through, went through, gone through. Definition: to experience a painful situation or trauma. So it's always negative. We go through something bad. Let's look at the situation. I know what you are going through. I know what you are going through. Losing a parent is painful. My father passed away 2 years ago. In this sentence, this friend is saying, I know what you are experiencing. My father passed away. Passed away is a phrasal verb, a polite phrasal verb to say die. Someone passed away, someone died. Jacob is given the same as surrender. Surrender is a lot more dramatic, but yes. Yes. Okay. Let's look at these examples. Delilah is going through a tough breakup. And a breakup is when a relationship ends. Delilah is going through a tough breakup. She and Michael had been together for over 7 years. So you can imagine it's very difficult to break up. Next example. I can't imagine what people went through during the Second World War, or any other war for that matter. For that matter is just another way to say also, and also any other war. Let's take a look and maybe you can think of a few example sentences. Here are common collocations. We can go through a breakup, go through a divorce, and a breakup is boyfriend-girlfriend, divorce is marriage. That's the difference. So you go through a breakup, you go through a divorce. We can also say, go through hard times, go through a tough time. Same thing. We go through hard times, go through a tough time. This means difficult. Go through a lot. This means a lot of problems. Jane is going through a lot at the moment. I'm going through a lot. He's going through a lot. Then you know this person is struggling. Go through a rough patch. That's a common collocation. You go through a rough patch. What's a rough patch? It's a period of difficulty. Look at this line here. Does zooming in help? Oh. Look at this line. Smooth, smooth, smooth. Everything's fine. Rough patch. Rough, 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 rough. Rough patch. And smooth again. So a rough patch is a difficult period in your life. How could you help a friend who is going through a rough patch? What can you do? Okay. Hassan says, we've all gone through hard times. Exactly. The key is not to get stuck there. That's right. We go through hard times, but you have to keep moving. Don't be stagnant. Keep going. Nermin, she went through a very, we would say, Nermin, she went through a very tough time, or she went through hard times. That's more natural than very tough situations. She went through hard times or a tough time and still didn't give in. Exactly. Yeah, 2 phrasal verbs in 1 sentence. My best friend went through hard times after he was fired, but he perked up in right time. We can say he soon perked up, or he eventually perked up. Yeah. Elvira, Tina's having a really hard time right now. She's going through a rough breakup. Yeah. That's not easy. Daily info, I need this lesson. Excellent. I'm glad you need this lesson. Jacob, I'm going through a hard time right now. Great sentence. Exactly. We all go through hard times. I hope you get through it quickly. Keep moving. Keep going. Ahmed, yes, we will go through hard times knowing there won't be any live lessons for 13 days. I know. You are going to suffer. I know it. And speaking of live lessons, because this is the last phrasal verb, the next live will be in 2 weeks as usual on the 22nd. That's in 2 weeks, the 22nd of October. Laurent, I'm going through a rough patch. Yes, going through a rough patch because I'm unemployed. Exactly. That can be a very hard time in a person's life. Exactly. It's a rough patch. And I hope you get through it quickly. Yeah. Good. Phoenix says, I admire the person who can always wear a smile, especially when they go through. And Phoenix, go through is transitive. Transitive means it must have an object. So we cannot say when they go through. Go through what? What are they going through? We need to have an object. Okay. Good. That was everything. Right. So, just to remind you, if you want today's notes, join my channel and become an English nerd. You can get access to all of my live lesson notes with the members only password, and you can download everything, all the notes from the past live lessons. And if you want to learn more phrasal verbs, don't forget about the workbooks. I have both workbooks together as a combination, and I'll link it in the chat so you can easily see it. Where is it? Let me find it. Okay. If you want to check out the link, I'll put it here. It should be in the chat. There it is. There's a link there if you want to learn phrasal verbs. It also comes with audio, so you can listen to each phrasal verb as well. Good. I will end my screen share, but I will say bye to a few of you. Hassan says, love you, best teacher ever. Thank you for being here. I love it. I love it. Manzura, what is this book name, please? Thank you. Each book is called Your Phrasal Verb Journey. I have book 1 and book 2, and you can get them together, so it's a lot more convenient. You can download them at once. They're available on my store. Check out the link in the description. Nice. Leonardo, bye teacher, I will miss you. I will miss you as well, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. Nerman, I can't wait to join the next live lesson. Bye, Arnel, bye. Thank you for being here. Perfect. And Phoenix, thank you, teacher, for today's live lesson. Thank you for being here. By the way, you are beautiful too with pink color. Thank you. I like pink. This is nice and cozy. Thank you, Phoenix. Good. Robert, I'm happy watching your video. Thank you for being here. I love it. Thank you. And I'll end on one final comment. Maya says, Arnel, we are excited about your app. Me too. I say this every live lesson. It's almost done. But believe me, it's almost done. I mean it. I really do mean it. Good. So, have a wonderful day. Review these phrasal verbs. Think of your own example sentences. And you can leave me some of your examples in the comments. I will see you in 2 weeks. Bye.